So if I go back and recollect how a Federalist attacked me, that's basically kind of like breaking diplomacy with Puerto Rico. One is because he's a federal agent. Only the Senate has a right to attack Puerto Ricans. Only the Senate can declare war on Puerto Ricans. The Puerto Rican Constitution states clearly that Puerto Ricans cannot be subjects. We cannot be subjugated. Even if we are part of the diaspora of the United States, they cannot attack Puerto Ricans in the U.S. using Federalists. You can't have a federal FBI agent smite someone and almost assassinate someone, and then not reprimand that federal agent, and not hold those accountable of who are Federalists, not hold them accountable, because every single time the Federalists attack Puerto Ricans is a breaking of diplomacy. They went and broke diplomacy against Puerto Ricans in secret. They cannot do that. That's fratricide. They went to war against Puerto Ricans in secret. It's fratricide. Look it up. Look it up and study how Puerto Rico is a commonwealth, a alien state. They call us aliens because of Israel. They say that we're outcasts of Israel. This is why they call us aliens. It's in the terms of the satellite states. So even if we are in New York City, in Chicago, and we are in Hawaii, it doesn't matter. Our Constitution protects us in the diaspora because we have a trade. We were in a trade negotiation from Spain to the U.S. But that does not mean that the U.S. can just attack us, right? Because that's the Federalists. That's the banking sector. Attack Puerto Ricans using federal agents. It can't, because that's a declaration of war. In the Constitution, it states clearly that if the Senate approves of that action of what happened in New York City against me, and probably millions of other Puerto Ricans, therefore, then they're unconstitutional to take sides against Puerto Ricans in secret, because they have to publicly state that they are at war with Puerto Ricans. They have to declare it. And that's what has happened, that the Senate or the Federalists have been declaring war against Puerto Ricans. Nelson, he wrote a book that called War Against Puerto Rican, that just the Federalists are declaring war against Puerto Rican in secret, and it's fratricide. And so people have to investigate it. People have to investigate it and bring it out to the public, that every time the U.S. Federalists attack Puerto Ricans and don't declare it publicly by the news or anything like that, and throw paper towels at people like they ain't about shit, and disgrace the senators like they're all corrupt, because that's political war. That's political war. Political war. That's defamation of character. A sitting president cannot defame other senators because there's a libel for defamation of character. And Donald Trump did it. So that was a reprimand for him. He can't do that in public. Just insult them and not do it. Have a discussion with them about what's going on, because he doesn't know there's spiritual warfare, right? You could get spiritual warfare. You could not know what the hell is happening in a country where you're not living at. You coming in here? No, there's no surveillance. Like this, literally, like U.S. military. They don't know shit what's happening in Puerto Rico. They're in their barracks. Not even the National Guard knows what's happening in Puerto Rico. They're always in their barracks. You don't see them like surveillancing and patrolling, because they know there's war, there's cannon fodder in Puerto Rico. So they know. So yes, all the above. What they did was unconstitutional, and they were doing this for a very long time, breaking diplomacy from Puerto Rico to break away from so that Puerto Rico can break away from the U.S. so that it can favor their country or their race.